An elderly couple sitting on the floor. Children curled up, sleeping on their luggage. Young travelers stranded in an unfamiliar city, desperately trying to find a way back home.
First service है, don't go IndiGo.
फ्लाइट है ही नहीं यहाँ से. अब वो कल का दे रहे हैं और कल भी क्या गारंटी के फ्लाइट जाएगी.
अगर फ्लाइट कैंसिल हो गई तो ये एयरलाइंस का हेडेक है, ये मेरा और आपका हेडेक नहीं है. बेंगलुरु से मुंबई आए हैं, लेकिन हमारा बैग नहीं आया है और बैग में मेरा पासपोर्ट है, इंटरनेशनल का टिकट है मेरा.
And this isn't a one-off incident. It's unfolding for days across multiple airports throughout India.
मैडम 4 दिन से 3 दिन से बिना खाए पेट छोड़े यहाँ पे खड़े.
Passengers paying hefty sums again and again, only to watch their flights get cancelled, one after another. No place to stay, no way to return. A nation brought to its knees by one of the worst aviation breakdowns in recent memory. Passengers left helpless, safety overlooked, and a government bowing to the whims of a corporate airline. For what? All because of one thing: a complete failure to comply with aviation guidelines.
IndiGo continues operational disruption across the India and in Mumbai airport. There are some passengers who were waiting. There are no advance communication from IndiGo staff and their flight has been cancelled.
It's the same different airport and same story. As you see Hyderabad here, we are standing outside the IndiGo desk here where passengers are queued up for the same problem. Each passenger has a different problem. Either their flight has been rescheduled without an intimation, or their flight has been cancelled, or it has been delayed. It is the same story.
All these prices, they have skyrocketed and they were taking undue advantage of the passenger.
IndiGo, the airline that dominates India's domestic skies, has plunged into chaos, leaving thousands of passengers stranded nationwide. Its network has crumbled under the pressure of newly enforced pilot fatigue rules, exposing cracks in the system. And the irony is staggering. Regulations designed to safeguard passengers have instead triggered one of the most widespread waves of passengers suffering in the recent aviation history.
Yeah. 5, 6, 7:50. The flight has to departure. If it doesn't departure, what to do?
Full enforcement wasn't due until November 2025, giving the airline months to prepare. But when the deadline finally arrived, IndiGo's network collapsed. Readiness was missing. Chaos took over. Accountability was absent. Excuses filled the void. This isn't only about pilot fatigue. It's a direct threat to passenger safety.
समझ नहीं आ रही कि मेरी वाइफ प्रेग्नेंट है. 5 घंटे पहले आपको मेल करवाया हुआ है. ऐसा नहीं है कि मैं यहाँ आके कह रहा हूँ मुझे अकोमोडेशन दो. 5 घंटे पहले मेल करवाया था.
आपसे कुछ हो नहीं रहा है अकेले के लिए. कम से कम किसी को बुला लो.
Okay, it's your responsibility.
There is just a simple message that like your flight is cancelled. It is not even rescheduled. मेरे को पता नहीं है कब वो दूसरा फ्लाइट देगा, कुछ काल का फ्लाइट देगा, परसों का फ्लाइट देगा, तरसों का फ्लाइट देगा.
Flight got cancelled. There has been no update. Basically, are they going to reschedule it or the ticket is totally gone? Whatever. We have connecting problems, connecting programs. All the programs are totally now gone in a toss.
I want to share with you that we have experienced severe operational disruptions for the past 2 days. Since then, prices continue to aggravate, with today, December 5th, being the most severely impacted day, with the number of cancellations well over 1,000, or more than half of our number of daily flights. I, on behalf of all of us at IndiGo, would like to extend our sincerest apologies for the major inconvenience this has caused to many of our customers on account of delays and cancellations.
This entire IndiGo crisis has actually happened apart from the flights being cancelled, now several people are struggling with the fact that the flights have been cancelled and delayed. Another major issue which has come up amid this meltdown was that the fellow airlines, be it Air India, be it Air India Express, Akasa, all these prices, they have skyrocketed and they were taking undue advantage.
Other airlines seized the moment, hiking fares overnight and leaving stranded passengers with only sky-high ticket prices to choose from.
Ladies and gentlemen, monopolies are bad, but the Modi government seems to be very comfortable with monopolies and duopolies, and that's very bad. Very bad. Ladies and gentlemen, the Director General of Civil Aviation, the very regulator tasked with protecting the lives of millions of air passengers, has given into pressure. Ladies and gentlemen, given into pressure from corporate behemoths. Yes, you heard me right. The DGCA has withdrawn its own instructions that barred airlines from substituting weekly rest with leave for pilots. All because the airlines complained about operational disruptions. In other words, the government of India has lost and private airlines have won. And this is all happening because two airlines together control 91% of domestic aviation. Ladies and gentlemen, two airlines, 91% market share, and they are pre-planning disruptions. I have on record the statement of the IndiGo CEO, who has said quite clearly that the so-called cancellations of IndiGo Airlines planes was pre-planned, which means in a pre-planned way without informing passengers, they decided to cancel airlines. In other words, IndiGo planned and conspired to put India's aviation sector to a standstill for the last 2 days.
With flights vanishing across major routes, travelers found themselves cornered. Even nearby airport hotels inflated their rates, turning desperation into profit. What began as an operational collapse quickly spiraled into widespread exploitation, an industry cashing in while passengers paid the price.
The immediate priority for us, like I said, is to bring normalcy back. Today in the country, if you are seeing, there are 5 lakh people traveling by air every day. There are very, very few countries in the world with so much big aviation network, and today we have that kind of network in the country, and there are more and more people every day preferring to travel by air. So as a minister, my immediate priority on behalf of the government is to ensure normalcy, and people who want to fly smoothly, conveniently, and the airports provide all the necessary facilities to them. So the immediate concern is to bring that back. Immediate concern is to provide all the support to the passengers at the airports, especially, like I mentioned, the senior citizens and the differently abled. That is the immediate one. But we are observing deeply into this system. We are seeing the scheduling network that is there. We are seeing the FDTL norms that are there. We are going to thoroughly look into it and ensure all the airlines follow the due diligence, because ultimately in aviation, no matter other networks, but aviation, we have to keep safety as a very important factor. We can't compromise on safety. That is the most important. So while we bring in new changes, while we expand our network, while we expand our fleet, the passengers shouldn't feel that inconvenience, and especially the network that is being created has to have a very smooth flow. So both long term and short term, we have short term is to bring the normalcy. Long term, we'll do further stakeholder consultation with everyone and ensure that proper implementation of the FTL guidelines, and ensuring everyone, there is a balance between all the necessary stakeholders is established. That will be one action item for us in the future.
See, in order to make air travel more safe and secure, the pilots were demanding extra rest hours as per international norms. So DGCA, on the directive of the courts, see, in order to make air travel more safe and secure, the pilots were demanding extra rest hours as per international norms. So DGCA, on the directive of the courts, also declared the new norms for rest of 6 hours was increased to 8 hours. Similarly, night flying hours were reduced, and directives were given more than 1 year back to all the airlines to recruit more pilots and staff and get ready for the new norms. The tragedy is that we were very happy when the government showed 8.2% growth in GDP. The next day, IndiGo grounded some of the planes, saying that there is a computer glitch. And then they gave a statement that the glitch is resolved.
ऐसा है कि इंडिगो की जो प्रॉब्लम है लास्ट 1 वीक से आई हुई है, इसकी छोटी सी हिस्ट्री है। DGCA ने इंटरनेशनल नॉर्म्स के हिसाब से 2019 में FDTL के ऊपर एक सिविल एविएशन रिक्वायरमेंट्स दिया था मार्च 2019 में। इसके बाद ये इंटरनेशनली देखा गया था कि कई एक्सीडेंट्स हुए और जिसमें पैसेंजर और पायलट्स की डेथ भी हुई है, और इसके बाद ये महसूस किया गया कि पायलट और केबिन क्रू को थोड़ा ज़्यादा रेस्ट पीरियड मिलना चाहिए। इस बात के चलते DGCA ने जनवरी 2024 को एक नया सिविल एविएशन डिपार्टमेंट सेक्शन J पार्ट 3 में इशू किया, जिसको कि 6 जून 2024 को इम्प्लीमेंट करना था। अब ये चीज़ इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं हो पा रही थी क्योंकि वेरियस एयरलाइन ऑपरेटर्स की तरफ से दबाव था, क्योंकि इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने से उनके पास पायलट्स और एयर क्रू की कमी हो जाती। इसकी इम्प्लीमेंट ना होने के चलते बहुत से पायलट्स के ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, उनकी एसोसिएशन दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट में गए और वहाँ पे ऑनरेबल जस्टिस गंजू ने डिसीजन दिया कि इस पर्टिकुलर डायरेक्टिव का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन DGCA को करवाना है और एयरलाइन ऑपरेटर को 2 पार्ट में करना है। इसमें 22 क्लॉज थे, 15 क्लास को इम्प्लीमेंट करना था 1 जुलाई 2025 तक, और बाकी बचे 7 क्लॉज का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करना था 1 नवंबर 2025 को। मेन डिफरेंस इसमें क्या था, जो पुराने ऑर्डर थे और नए ऑर्डर के बीच में, कि पायलट लोगों को और कैबिन क्रू लोगों को जो पहले वीकली ऑफ मिलता था 36 घंटे का, उसको बढ़ा करके 48 घंटे का कर दिया गया था, और एक पायलट के लिए नाइट लैंडिंग जो पहले 4 से 5 करते थे, अब मात्र उनको 2 लैंडिंग ही करनी थी।
After relentless coverage by Republic TV, the Civil Aviation Ministry stepped up in ordering IndiGo to refund passengers for all the cancelled flights. And in a decisive move to protect travellers, the ministry also capped airfares across affected routes, shutting down any attempt at opportunistic pricing.
Pilots have now internally raised this entire concern that what they've essentially done is cut corners, played with the safety of the passengers. The reason being is this, because remember, with a narrow body that is basically used by IndiGo, which is the A320 that largely holds the fleet of IndiGo, which allows IndiGo to have a larger number of flying routes to begin with, which means the resting period is much lesser. And that is the reason why when you are basically holding about 60% of the routes, essentially you have very little timing or very little room that is basically given for the pilots to recuperate.
Passengers aren't cargo. They are people whose lives depend on reliability, care and respect. The IndiGo crisis reveals a stark reality. Corporate negligence flourishes when size shields responsibility. Apologies aren't enough. Citizens deserve accountability, not automated messages for the hardships they endure.
Down, down! Down, down! Down, down!